This is Adam Sessler, and you're listening to the Out of Continuous podcast.
Welcome to Out of Continues, episode 125. A weekly podcast posted every Monday in which we talk about video games and related topics. It's posted Monday on outofcontinues.com as an MP3, and then on Wednesdays we put it up on YouTube as a video, so you could see us. Hi. So, Out of Continues is a member of the Tech Podcast Network at techpodcast.com. If you're new to the show, I'm your host, Stafa. I have different guests on me on the show. I have different guests on the show each week. This week I have Kevin over here.
Hello.
And then I got the shadow broker over there, Ali. You gonna say something for the audio?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thumbs up. I'm saying thumbs up.
Come on, man. People
There you
gotta
go.
hear you.
Shadow broker right there.
So, anyways,
Ominous lighting.
anyway,
Shepard, I need you to do something. What's his name? The guy from
that's the
Elusive Man.
Elusive
That's
Man.
what it is.
Well, you said shadow broker earlier,
same
so I
thing. I
didn't-
don't know. I couldn't think of it. All those weird names in Mass Effect.
So, anyways, this week's episode segments will include what we've been playing. After that, we'll talk about announcements, which should be really quick. Our main topic after that will be the current state of the Steam digital store. After that, we got some news and no listener feedback this week, so we'll wrap it up after that. So let's talk about what have you been playing, Ali?
I've been playing Monster Hunter Freedom Unite because
Nice.
it's free. Well, quote unquote free. It's actually pretty good. This is my first time actually sitting down and putting time into a Monster Hunter game. I've played Monster Hunter before, but it was never my own file and never like one that I started from scratch. It has some design flaws, like typical, like too much information. Well, it's like too many like aspects to the game and not enough information. And then when it does give you information, it doesn't explain it well. So, but I mean, I'm starting to get into the groove of things a little bit, and it's pretty fun. You go around and this game's more like. It's you select a quest and it'll say, like, do this, like, gather 20 of these items, or slay 10 of these monsters, or find this really big monster in this area. So you'll choose a quest and then you'll depart and you'll load up different environments. Like there's jungle, there's like mountain environment, there's like a desert environment, and you go out and do what you're told. Like every section has like different, or every environment has like different sections, like different. How do I word this? So yeah, there's like different little like sections of areas, and like when you want to go to the next area, that's like a little loading screen basically.
So it's like Borderlands.
Not quite, because Borderlands has big environments.
Okay.
Freedom Unite is like, you have this like relatively large area, but it's like broken down into several pieces just for loading purposes, I guess.
So it's like Metal Gear.
Yeah, I was thinking more like Metal Gear, but I didn't want to say that because like I felt like I'd confuse people. But like Metal Gear Solid, like I guess the first Metal Gear Solid, you have like this little area, and then like go down this hallway. Oh, new loading area. Oh, you go through this like decently sized room. Oh, another loading area. So it's like that, but outdoors. So,
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it's pretty fun. I mean there seem to be a lot of things to upgrade, and I mean, like I said, I'm still scratching the surface a little bit, but getting into the groove of things.
When I was playing Metal Gear Peace Walker, I mean, I never played a Monster Hunter game, but I was getting the impression that they were like,
it is kind of like Peace Walker.
they were trying to like emulate that format.
Peace Walker is, I think, a lot better than Monster Hunter so far. Because
the thing about Peace Walker is like it was designed for like 4 players to fight bosses, and it was designed for you to like do a lot of grinding, fighting these bosses over and over.
Yeah, I mean it's like that, and there's certainly a lot of quests in Monster Hunter that say do you want to play online or offline? I don't know if you could still do online or not. I mean I guess I could try. There are probably people playing considering.
Oh, I mean, it just went. It was just with the recent PlayStation Plus game, yeah. So there should be.
I don't know if like the online even still works because like I don't know if it's like a dependent on like different servers or something like that, or
okay,
or if it just tries to matchmake you or something. I don't know. But yeah, like I think I enjoy Peace Walker a lot better because it's a lot better.
Metal Gear.
Well, no, I mean like even the controls are a lot better, a lot more well done. In Monster Hunter, the buttons are kind of weird. Like square is like use item, and you select item by holding down the left trigger.
Oh, so the controls are Japanese.
Yes, they're very Japanese. And you pull out your weapon by hitting triangle, but you automatically swing when you pull out your weapon. If you want to put away your weapon, you hit square. So you have to put away your weapon to be able to use an item.
So you press square twice?
Yes, you have to press square twice.
Get annoying quick.
And like when you have your weapon out, circle does like a side swipe or something, as opposed to a vertical attack that triangle does. X is I don't even remember.
You gotta go
X
over
is.
all the controls.
I mean, it's just like earlier, just like it's really weird controls. Like I mean.
Earlier, you were telling me you want us to go through this quick just because you gotta fix your car.
Yeah,
and now you're talking about every single control on Monster Hunter.
Just the point is, it's like it's really weird controls. I mean, it's unintuitive, and even though I'm like gotten to the hang of things, it's like really like I'll still accidentally use one of my mega potions even when I have full health because I'm like, why is this button use item? So. Like aim, like you could get like a crossbow, and you have to aim by holding, the right trigger and tapping the D-pad. Like if you like, it's just weird. Like D-pad's aim, and I don't know, man. It's just
that does sound really weird.
It's unintuitive, but it's fun so far. Trying to kill big things, and they're trying to kill you, and. Like a love-hate relationship type of thing.
You mean a hate-hate relationship?
No, it's
why would you love the monsters? That doesn't make any sense. You're
because
a monster hunter.
Monster hunter. You love them because they give you items.
You hunt.
And you could love a deer before you shoot it in the face.
Monster hunter.
That sounds very bad.
Dick Marcinko.
Who's Dick Marcinko?
The Rogue Warrior. April Fool's mother effer.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, so Kevin, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a game called Skydrift. It's came out back in 2011, and I just got it recently with a bundle. Essentially, it's kind of like Mario Kart with fighter planes. It's really fun, actually.
Mario Kart with fighter planes?
Yeah. And
like battle mode or racing mode?
So they have racing mode, they have like a speed, so they have like, there's I think only 3 different modes in there. One of them is called Power Race, which is your standard, just you race, but you have weapon upgrades that you can pick up as you're flying around. Then there's Speed, which is...
I just looked up Skydrift on Google Images, and like on the related searches, there's Anna Kournikova. I'm confused.
Anna Kournikova is always relevant.
So, anyways,
I think I might have this game on Steam. I'm not sure.
so
That's
the
pretty
second
sad
mode is
that you think you might have it.
Dude, I have like 500 games on Steam.
so the second
501.
man, I wish I had that many games. So the second mode is the speed mode where you have to like fly through these rings that boost you and you try not to crash. And then there's a third one called elimination or something like that. And basically, if you're
in last
if
place
you're in last place
after a
at the end
certain
of
amount of time or something like that. Oh, yeah.
then you're out of the race.
So this sort of reminds me of Sonic Racing Transformed All-Star Mega Edition Plus. When you're in, like, flying around.
Yeah, I would actually more compare this to like Blur, which was also similar to Mario Kart.
I'm screen sharing right now.
Oh. Oh, that's good.
It's just a show.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
Stop screen share.
That screen share.
Stop screen
Oh my
share.
god.
I gotta make it entertaining for the viewers.
That was like Inception. Like,
It's like
we
you
need
put
to go
two-
deeper.
It's like you put two mirrors like right next to each other. You
Yes,
see like the infinite.
See.
So yeah, it's kind of like Blur because when you run through the power ups, it's not a random thing like Mario Kart is. It's like you can see which one it is. And they're all
Oh, so-
lined up. And so
Okay.
you just fly through one.
Dude, I was wanting to get Blur
So it's
on
like Diddy
Steam,
Kong
but then
Racing.
it like disappeared one day off Steam Store.
And I played Blur for a while. I wasn't a huge fan.
wasn't very good?
Yeah,
Okay.
the driving was. Eh.
Okay,
It's
so
like
so
Mario Kart with cars.
so it's
but
like
not as
Sonic
good
Racing
physics.
transformed.
Actually, it looks a lot like I was gonna think Diddy Kong Racing, like the planes.
Yeah.
So it's
Because, like,
Sonic Racing
Looking at the
transformed with planes.
So looking at like the weapon or like the item pickups, they're different colors, which is basically what Diddy Kong Racing did.
Yeah,
They
so
had the different colored balloons
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
you've got like missiles, machine guns. You've got defensive things like shields and repairers, and you've got shockwaves. You can pick up mines and things that you can leave behind. But the one cool aspect about it is that if you pick up the same item twice, it gives you a
It'll
boosted
upgrade you.
version of it.
Yeah.
So like if you have
Didn't like Twisted Metal do that? I think no. I
No,
might be making stuff
I don't
up.
think
No,
it did.
Diddy Kong Racing did.
Diddy Kong Racing did that.
Yeah, if you picked
No.
up like a red, that's one missile. If you picked up another one,
I
it
haven't
was
played
like
Diddy Kong Racing
it was
since like
multiple missiles or
ago.
something like that, and then like the
Oh,
third
okay.
one's like a homing missile. I don't know.
yeah. So like if you pick up like the first missile, then it just
so
gives you
so this
two
game has
standard-
like an elephant genie, right?
As you wish.
No, that's
Oh, that's Mahamodi Jin.
yes.
What is the elephant saying? Diddy Kong Racing.
I just remember like he comes in with like this song. He's like, oh, and then there's like this music and everything. It was I don't know.
So
it
we
might-
have video now. I think you should reenact that.
Yeah, dude.
I think it might have been like wrong racism because like they had genies are Arabian and elephants are Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
he was
they-
flying a magic carpet, didn't he?
Yes. So like
That's
the,
funny.
the Japanese who made it, they're like, well,
It's like when people think like Sikhs are like Arabs or Muslims or something
Yeah.
like that. You Muslims, just like what?
Al Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda.
So, anyways, Skydrift.
Yeah, Skydrift. It's really fun. It's a great game to just play in between like all the projects I've been working on, and it's really exhilarating and it's
Exhilarating.
it's an exhilarating experience.
Not many games do that these days.
Yeah, and the thing is like there's only 3 maps, but they're fun enough that I don't mind. It's not like they're always getting too repetitive because they also have the reverse versions of each map. So, I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but it gives a little bit of a...
Man, you make it sound like there's a
variation.
lot of variety, like reverse versions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not much
OMG.
variety, but there's
And
a
reverse mirrored versions.
upside down.
Well, that's what I say. There's not much variation, but it's slight enough changes that it doesn't get terribly boring on the same maps. But the racing itself is really fun, and there's a little bit of commentary too. Like when you get into first place, the guy will be like, "You are the first now," and then when you win, he's like, "You are victorious."
Victorious. Good.
So it's really, I don't know. I think it's really fun to just as a game to play in between stressful projects.
You know what developers should do? Instead of like reverse tracks, they should do like inverse tracks, where all the empty space becomes solid and all the
Oh.
solid space becomes empty.
Oh man.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, in a game where you have planes going at like 500 miles an hour,
Hey, you could
all that open space turns into block
you
space.
could
That'd be
fly through the ground. Fly through the ground, man. Because the ground is gonna be your best friend. You just chill down there with everyone else because they realize if they tried anything else, they'd die. For those not watching, Stop is shaking his
This
head
is
no.
always something you'll get on video.
Hey, it's a pretty good idea.
So, anyways,
Yep.
moving on.
What have you been playing?
Nothing.
Oh.
I've been playing nothing.
You're
it's
playing the
been-
capstone game?
Yeah, he's been playing his game that he's working on.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work, and at the same time, like this past week, like on Tuesday and Wednesday, I don't know, I just felt really drained and did not have any motivation to do anything. I wasn't playing any games. I wasn't working. I don't know. I just felt like, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting burned out, but I gotta get motivated again. I gotta
Yeah.
get inspired, get back in gear. It's last month.
Yep.
Last month.
There's like 23 days left.
Yeah, stop giving me numbers. Deadlines are an illusion. It's gonna be done when it's done.
Are they
Yeah, you have 23 days to get it done when it's done.
elusive?
So
You
yeah,
win at segues.
so yeah, I'm working on stuff, and I did play a little Sly Cooper. It's Sly Cooper. I mean, I didn't play enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
I played on Vita, and I played some Mortal Kombat last night, and that
Mortal Kombat.
like the Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection with a K. Collection.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat is hard. It's not like Street Fighter where you can basically, if you know like two of the moves, you basically know like half of the roster, and you can kind of like, you just go with the flow. You know what I mean? You could
You could
dive kick towards people, sweep them.
dive kick. This isn't
Yes,
dive kick.
yes, that's what it's a dive kick. And do the thing where you like jump towards somebody, then you crouch and kick them a few times and punch them, and
Well, you
and
have
then,
you jump
and then-
forward, you do the strong kick, and then you do like the crouch
yeah.
down weak kick.
exactly, that's what I mean.
So you do
and
the-
then and then
the-
finish it off with a Hadouken or something. You can kind of like just BS your way through that. Like Mortal Kombat, you can't do that because everybody has their their sweep and their uppercut, but other than that, it's like everybody's moves are like 200% different.
200%.
Like
Wow.
someone's fireball can be like forward low punch, and then someone else's fireball will be like back high kick. Like everyone's moves are like so drastically different, and it's hard. So it's like I played a little bit of it last night. I was like, yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. So let's move on. Let me put a marker on the audio. Bam! No, bam! There we go. Alright. Let's talk about DreamHost real quick.
Yeah.
No way.
You notice how I shifted this over? Because it used to be at the very beginning. I figured, let's get the listeners to listen in on some discussions before we talk about DreamHost.
Yeah.
So anyways, DreamHost. They are a web service. They offer unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface. They are also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress and Content5 and many more features. All that just for $8.95 a month. Use the promo code OUTOFCONTINUES. That is one word, out of continues. Don't put a space in between any of those words. Out of continues. It will waive the setup fee and get you a free domain registration. So check that out if you are into, making yourself, an online web portfolio, any type of website. If you want to start a podcast, bam. Yeah, so check it out. DreamHost.com. So, and announcements real quick. You know, I've obviously still been messing with the video format, getting better at it now that I you know, I started using Google Hangout to record. Last week, you know, I used Google Hangout to record, and then I downloaded the video because YouTube lets you download your own videos.
Yeah.
And it was like a gigabyte, and then you know, I put I removed the audio and put in the good audio, because these mics that you see here on the video, these are not hooked up to my laptop. They're hooked up to a computer that's in the other room over there. So I can't hook up these mics to the Google Hangout. So if you're for some reason watching this live, then you're hearing the audio coming from the webcam.
That's probably really bad.
Yeah, so
you're actually uploading the video to YouTube, downloading it, replacing the audio, then uploading it again to YouTube?
yes. Well, that's what I did last week, and when I put it together in Adobe Premiere, it was like 10 gigabytes, and then I was like, this will take 8 hours to upload. I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong. And the thing is, like, I'm not a video person. I don't know like the best settings or whatever. I just clicked use same settings as original video.
Oh.
And even though it says use same settings as the original video, it decides to make it like a 10 gigabyte video rather than, you know, 1 gigabyte, which was the original. So what I'm doing this time is I'm going to, like, YouTube has a feature where you can take a video that you already have uploaded and kind of make a new video by adding audio. And
they got some pretty good, like, primitive audio video editing capabilities on YouTube. So
I'm gonna try that out. Hopefully, what I'm afraid of is that it might have like both the original audio of the webcam on there as well.
Should be able to mute the original audio.
Okay, well, we'll
so.
see.
Yeah, remove the audio track. You should be able to, at least.
So, we're working on that. We're progressing. We're getting better. We got like, you know, since I mentioned I got a month left of school, I got like a month left of using this the studio.
Yeah.
Because once I graduate, it's no longer in here. Also, if you use iTunes, please leave an iTunes review. Really help us out. You know, help expand the podcast and get new listeners. Because even if I have bad reviews are reviews. Like a podcast with a bunch of bad reviews will still get more listeners than a podcast with absolutely no reviews. So please leave reviews. I'd really appreciate it. You know, it only takes a minute out of your time. So anyways, let's move on and get to our main topic. You know, finish up with the announcements. Our main topic, let's talk about the current state of Steam.
Yes.
So, Steam lately, I know you haven't been using too much of Steam, Ali.
Yeah.
Steam lately has become a mess.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's been lately?
No, it definitely happened within like the last couple months or so.
Yeah, I would say within this last Q4 of last year was when it started getting really messy.
It got super messy because I think it was the past few weeks that this happened, like maybe 3 weeks ago, that all these publishers, like these PC publishers that own the rights to like all these really old PC games, they suddenly started flooding Steam with tons of old games. When I say old, I mean like, you know, 10 years old, 20 years old, you know, like just a bunch of games.
And the thing is, it's not even these publishers that are well known and just adding their really good old games to the Steam library. It's just these unknown publishers that have had games for so long,
like games that were like in the Kmart bargain bin.
Yeah, and they're just like mass adding them to Steam, and so now the new releases section of Steam is all those terrible old games.
And like the thing with like especially with indie developers, the most sales they will get is on their release day, because they are on the front page of Steam, on the very top of the new releases.
Yeah.
And now you have new releases that on the day that's come out, it's buried like. You have to scroll down a few times. Like it goes in increments of 10.
Yep.
So sometimes it's like within 11 through 20 or even further, because
Yeah.
the fact that it just gets buried by all these other games that came out like 10, 11, 12 years ago.
But the thing is, the way that Steam does its release dates is that they put the date that it was actually added to Steam. So if you go,
Oh, really?
and it's been like
Yes.
this for years. And so like if you go to a specific game's page and you check its release date, it'll say the year that it was actually added on Steam, or not even just the year, but that specific day that it was added on Steam. So
Huh.
like there are some games that are really old that have been on Steam just added recently, and they still have like, this was released in 2014 or 2013, and it's a game that came out in 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, like basically the way how Valve is running Steam has been changing, but Steam itself hasn't been changing at all.
Yeah,
so
it hasn't adopted with the new practices.
yeah, so basically, like, I mean, it's Steam has changed over time. They added the filter on there which allows you to filter out DLC, because at
Yeah.
one point DLC was
there was
having
so
the same
much like
problem.
DLC,
Yeah.
mixed in with like games,
And
Yeah.
now by default it's filtered off so that you don't see DLC in the new releases. There needs to be a new filter now that filters out like old
Garbage.
games. But like there should be a filter that says new releases, and another one that's like new to Steam.
Yeah.
Because new to Steam does not make it a new release.
Well, I think part of the problem is that it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Basically, with Steam being as open as it is, it allows anyone who actually is making a good game that might not be well known publish a game and get sales because it's on the front page. But then these publishers take advantage of that, and they just mass add these old games that don't really matter. No one's gonna buy them, and they get the curation on Steam. Basically, is what that is. It's just adding.
rats.
So it's just adding all these old games to the new releases section and buries all the good games that are actually releasing. And Total Biscuit did some talk about this too, and like there's like an hour-long Q&A video that he had, and near the end he talked about how Steam it's the open platform is a good and bad thing, because it's not just Steam that's suffering from this, it's also Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. And both of those systems are starting to see all these, I guess, older games that like shovelware basically that's just being added in mass. And
But the thing is, Xbox Live and PSN both have a vetting process where they have to go through Sony or
I think
Microsoft.
I think that with PlayStation, that they have like that open system now where indie
Well,
developers can publish.
You can self-publish, but you still have to basically like pass like the QA and stuff for Sony or Microsoft. And that's the thing. Like they're becoming more accessible, but they're not open. That's the thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It's sort of like the Apple, like the whatever they call it, iStore or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's pretty easy to start development for it, but you still have to go through the process of getting it through.
Even
but
Apple's or Google's app stores really haven't been perfected either, because there's a whole bunch of shovelware on there.
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, yeah. The app. Well, the thing is, I think the Play Store, the Play Store doesn't require vetting like the Apple Store does, but
Yeah.
they're both are getting a lot of garbage on there. But I mean, like, if you look at the Xbox Live stuff and the PSN stuff, like it's they might be getting smaller titles, that some people might think are bad or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's not nearly to the extent of Steam where like they're trying to fix like Greenlight and all sorts of things, and then like all these like publishers that don't have to go through Greenlight are like, oh look, more ways for us to make money, let's just dump this stuff on here. So you're getting less of less face time for like indie developers and potentially good games, and more face time for garbage. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I don't think they're directly comparable because like the process for those are very different. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I just think that it's really bad that a lot of these publishers are trying to take advantage of that open system.
yeah,
And what they should do at least is there should be a way that when you publish a game, it still requires you to go through. I think that there should be a voting system on Steam where. I think I mentioned this a while ago, but instead of having Greenlight where you vote for games,
Well, they're gonna be getting rid of Greenlight.
right, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I mentioned this a while ago, but like instead of what they should have done instead of doing Greenlight was allow people to actually vote for games on Steam that are already released, and then that way the games that get top rated get pushed to another
Yeah.
section, maybe on the front page.
that seems like that might be open for abuse though, because I feel like people people from like 4chan or whatever, they'll say like gone home and be like negative, like downvote.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's not going to happen in all cases, but like it can be abused in that way. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if they see, if they have accounts that have a certain amount of money put into it, and say, okay, this one is a legitimate account. People can vote on, this person could vote on things because we know they use this account for a lot of things, that sort of thing. Maybe, I don't know, like sort of vet the voters as well. So,
Yeah.
as opposed to being, like allowing people to just make accounts and probably vote on things that way as well. Because you might be able to get, like reviewer padding or whatever.
I think that there just needs to be like more of a filter as far as what is even allowed on Steam, because Steam
Yes, is getting too open, I think.
Yeah, they are the big daddy as far as PC digital distribution. There needs to be a level of quality. Like, not everybody should be allowed to upload anything.
Just dump whatever.
And like I should not be able to like make a game over a game jam and be like, well, I want this on Steam now.
Yeah. See, that's what like the Humble Bundle is for. And
I mean, there's other avenues for that. Like, there's Congregate.
Yeah.
There, like you can upload Game Jam games there and make some money from the ads. GOG or GOG, they got to the point where you can basically upload whatever and sell your game there. But GOG is a lot smaller than Steam.
Yeah, it's
Steam
very, very small.
is the big daddy. I mean, we got stuff like Shannon Tweed's Attack of the Groupies that was released.
What?
Shannon Tweed is Gene Simmons' wife,
Oh.
and this is a
I need to see this
Plants
now.
vs. Zombies clone
Oh no.
starring her.
Oh no.
Instead of zombies, it's groupies.
Oh
They
wow.
just shoot groupies down. Cute.
And like, instead of the sunshine plants, you put like this money growing plant.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, it grows
it's
money.
like it's.
Yes.
Oh no.
So, I mean, like, just garbage is being posted on Steam, and it's like, and some of these stuff I can't tell if like they are actually like new games, or if they're games that just got ported, or if they're games from like 1982. I can't tell.
You know what I find funny is that for a while, like Sony and Microsoft were both criticized for not having as much of an open thing as Steam, and then now Steam's like becoming the garbage bin of like all these like
Yeah.
titles and stuff like that. I mean,
Construction Machines 2014.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like Halo Spartan Assault probably is like a decent game, but like what's up with like
I heard that they got really bad reviews.
I mean that's
Even for Halo
yeah,
fans.
that's like a mobile game, on PC,
Yeah.
like have a level of quality, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one thing you want to talk about was the early access games.
Yeah, that's
And-
also something that's taken a huge. We've seen a huge influx of early access
Like-
games and early alpha, pay to play in alpha games.
Like
and
before this whole the old PC games start flooding Steam, we're getting a flood of early access games.
And games aren't even
and-
finished yet.
And they were not only on the new releases, which they shouldn't be because they're not released yet.
Yeah.
They were also being. I mean, they still are. There's like right here, Rust on the front page.
It's
like,
on that. Yeah.
that
banner.
showcase marquee.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rust is an early access game. It's being showcased as, hey, check out this game. It's it's in our showcase. And yeah, I get it. It's like one of the top selling games right now.
Yeah.
But it is an incomplete
It's
game,
very buggy still.
and it has changed drastically since
Since they first revealed it.
Yeah, like it had zombies at first, and now it doesn't have zombies anymore. Like they got
Yeah.
replaced with bears or something.
Yeah. But one of the things that really bothers me, and this is the main reason that I wanted to talk about this, and this just recently came up on Steam, and so Don't Starve, which is, in my opinion, it's a great game. I love it.
Yes.
It's really fun. I have nothing against the game, but it's still currently in early access, and they just
Is
released.
it really?
No, they took it out of early access.
It's listed as early access right now,
What?
and
they lied to me.
and it just got DLC released. It has DLC released while it's in early access.
Why is it still considered early access?
I have
I thought
no
the
idea.
game officially came out.
According to
No, it's officially come out. It's no longer in early access. I'm looking at it right now. It does not show early access.
well, then maybe it's the early access of the DLC. I have no idea if that's what it is, because if you look at
the Reign of Giants DLC.
yeah, so they're releasing DLC as early access as well.
Okay, see.
Wait, how do you release DLC as early
Yeah,
access?
the Reign of Giants is early access, but Don't Starve is not early access.
Okay,
It's-
then I got
it
that mixed
actually
up.
got released last year.
Yeah.
Either way, I still think that's really weird that that they're releasing DLC as early access for a game that was released as early access. I mean, why would you release DLC as early access? That's something it's usually not like the point of early access, in my opinion, is to get people behind, like to get people supporting that game.
Yeah.
And then if they're releasing DLC, you don't need people to support the DLC because you've already got the game that's been supported.
Yeah,
So I just feel like it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because like there's definitely a place for early access because not every, especially indie developers, non-indie developers should not be doing early access, but indie developers they're on a super limited budget. They might not have the money to complete their project, so they need to get money somehow. How do they do that? Well, here's the game. Here's what we got so far. It's an alpha version or beta. Check it out. And pay us so we can finish up the project. And I
Yeah.
completely understand that. But like, there's just so many early access games, and they're like basically. I mean, like, other than having the label early access on it, they're practically being sold as if they are full-fledged games.
Yeah.
Like it's on the front page of Steam. Rust is on the front page of Steam, as if it is a complete game. And it's, if people don't pay attention to that little early access banner, then they might think it is.
Yeah.
a complete game.
And then a lot of people who leave reviews always review alpha games as if they were final release, and that really can be negative towards the developer if they are truly trying to just, build an alpha and trying to get people behind the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just so many early access games. Like, I think the majority of the games that I see now on the homepage majority of them are early access games. And it's not always a bad thing. There have been great games that I've really enjoyed that are early access, like Prison Architect is really fun. Project Zomboid is a fantastic example of a early access game that is fun even as it is. But I just think that it's too much,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that is the new phase of game development. Maybe that is where game development is going, because I mean, it was not really that big of an idea until Minecraft did it, and then
What if these games never get done? Like,
that's one of the big issues. Like, there's a game that
Yeah, there's no guarantee that.
yeah, there was a game that I backed called Cube World, and basically it was bringing Legend of Zelda style gameplay to an open world sandbox style game like Minecraft.
yeah.
And it looked like Minecraft. In fact, it was probably using the similar algorithms to randomly generate the world. But it promised all these things like being able to go into dungeons and have a robust crafting system and have all these things. But I bought into that game almost a year ago, a year and a half, and there's been no updates, no word from the developer. He's been posting something. I mean, I know that according to some people, they've said that he's done this before, where he's released like an early version of the alpha and then went off record for a while and then came back with a big update and then is now, you know, MIA again. So I mean, like, no one's heard anything really from him.
Yeah, because like, what's the thing to, you know, like, hold back developers from just making a lot of money on early access and then running?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like,
I mean, I guess their
Kickstarters, I guess.
reputation's on the line. You know, that's one thing. They're never gonna they're never going to be able to do that again.
Right.
You know, like they pretty much lost the trust of their fan base.
What if they didn't plan on doing
or their
that again
potential
anyway?
fan base?
Yeah.
You know, what if they didn't plan on it, and what if they made, you know, enough money
Well,
to
I mean,
just
like,
go do a regular job or something, and
A
still
regular job.
Well, like, have a regular job and still sit on a pile
saying
of cash.
me
You know?
trying to get into game development is not a regular job? It's. Are you saying that it's
Well, I think he's trying to make a distinction of
Regular
indie, like,
as in getting
working on
paid
your-
regularly.
Yeah, because indie developers are really just living off.
Are you
of,
telling me I gotta get a job at
It's a
McDonald's? Is that what you're trying
Being
to say?
an indie developer is the profession of being broke.
and being successful at it?
Successfully broke. Ask Phil Fish.
Phil Fish is probably swimming in fish. I mean, money.
Swimming in would he get hit by the mob and then thrown in the ocean or something?
Yes.
Whack 'em! It's pain!
Yeah. Another big thing that's been kind of hitting Steam heavily is all these simulator games.
Garbage Simulator
the-
5000.
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I
farming
I
simulator.
thought you meant like
and-
the.
Freight Simulator.
Well, I mean, they're getting a lot of survival games too.
Yeah, a
like-
ton of those. I mean, that's
Forklift Simulator. I saw a quick look on that. Oh my god.
there was like a woodcutter simulator.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just really weird that we're
Simulator
getting
simulator.
such a large
meta.
amount of early access and shovelware. And I don't know if that's just because Steam is open and allows people to do this, and or if it's just, I don't know.
I don't get why Valve has this huge problem with Steam at this point. Like, I don't know if it's because Steam has become bigger than what they can handle.
They make money.
If that's the case, then they need to hire more people to, enforce the quality control.
You got to keep in mind they're making a lot of money from all
Yeah, they're
this.
making a lot of money,
Yeah.
but it's also becoming a huge mess, and like people are becoming unhappy with Steam.
But the problem is that no one has an alternative because there's nothing that is as robust as Steam. Like, you can go to Origin, but you're only going to get EA games and a handful of non-EA games, and that's about it. I mean, GOG has good games, but the majority of them are older games.
You have to-
GOG,
I
good
think
old
I
games.
think Dead Space is still free on Origin right now. It's been free for like the past week.
What
yeah.
is?
Yeah, Dead Space
Oh, this is.
on Origin.
And the only other
That
option is the
game
Humble
was
Store.
not good on PC though.
Yeah, that game was pretty bad.
Play-
Like they
play
had
with controller.
they had like controls on mouse and keyboard. You want to turn and it's like, oh, you're only gonna go controller speed, and it's just like, no thanks. But I mean, Like, there's other problems with Steam as well. Like, if you look at the client itself, it has not been
Updated?
it gets slower and slower, and because
Yeah.
they keep adding more things that scroll through, and all these different slideshows of different games, and they're adding more and more, and it's just this is really, I mean, it's essentially a browser.
Yeah,
but
and you can tell that it's not really as clean. I will say one thing about Origin is that it actually functions well with as limited options and features that it has. It actually functions like something that would be able to be a library, and you can sort through things pretty nicely. One thing that Steam just has a little bit of trouble with is just actually being clean, and it's just because they're adding so many features over time, and they don't really...
They haven't redesigned it.
Yeah, and it's the same design. They haven't really optimized its performance.
One thing that kind of has bugged me about Steam is it has the Steam client itself. It's for a while it had the option for skins, but they never released any official skins.
Yeah, I use a skin currently, and if you go on places like DeviantArt or places, you can find really good skins. But yeah, there's no official place on Steam to get skins. But
there's only been that one skin that's. And anything else, you pretty much have to go to a fan site or whatever.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of what they were really hoping for. But I think what they should do
at
is
least put up a section on Steam where it's hey.
I think what they
these
should
are some
do is add
skins.
something in the workshop.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Steam skins, and just allow people to download and apply them from there.
Make my Steam look better.
Make it run better. I don't care how it
Make
looks.
Make it run better.
When you could run the Steam store better in Internet Explorer than you can in the client, then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, I personally think that aesthetics has a lot to do with functionality as well, and a lot of people be like, just make it functional, don't necessarily make it pretty, but making it pretty makes it functional as well.
I'm not just talking about being pretty. I'm talking about like when you try to load something in the client, it's a lot slower than it is if you were in Firefox or even Internet Explorer. So I mean, I'm not talking about just aesthetics or UI design, or even just functionality. I'm just talking about how responsive it is. Maybe they need to upgrade their HTML. Are they using HTML5? I don't know. I guess maybe.
Yeah, no idea.
Dude, they have HTML6. What are you talking about, man? That's what's gonna power Half-Life 3.
Yep, HTML6.
Half-Life 3 is gonna be a browser game, confirmed. Here on Out of Continuous.
On Oculus 3.
There you go.
See, it makes sense because they're going to use HTML6 on Facebook for Oculus 3.
Oh, no.
Yes. Anyways, you guys have anything else to say about this before we wrap it up so we can move along so Ali can't complain about this podcast being too long?
Have a question for the listeners. What do you think about Steam?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Do you think that it's going in the wrong direction? And
they're not going to write in. They're not going to write in.
They should write in.
They're not going to write in.
Well, you have to give them incentive too.
They're not
voice your opinions.
You're not.
Way to give faith in your listeners.
I know. Voice your opinions,
Shut
listeners.
up, man. It's
and viewers.
reverse psychology.
That's not how reverse psychology.
That is. When I say that if I say that they're gonna do something, they're gonna prove me wrong. Come on. Get with the program.
This Staffa guy sucks.
Reverse psychology.
How to continue. Staffa was a jerk today.
But write in and say what you would do better.
Podcast at out of continue.
Then they're definitely not gonna write into podcast@aftercontinuous.com and share their opinions on this topic.
They're also not gonna show up at your house and punch you in the face.
Why would they even do that? I have 30 listeners. Half of them are in China. Why would they do that?
I want to come to America.
Anyways, moving on. Let's move on and go to
News.
Yeah, let's talk about some news. Got some news up. First news. All right, we have the the Hindenburg of
Yeah.
all game jams, the Titanic,
Yep.
the biggest, most expensive game jam that just hit a glacier dead on, straight in the face.
And caught fire.
Didn't both the Hindenburg and Titanic events involve people dying?
People died.
Well, in this
This-
one, ideas and relationships probably died.
Yes. So, okay, basically what happened, for people who aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, Polaris, how would you describe Polaris? They're basically like a YouTube manager type thing. Like they manage people on YouTube.
What would they call it? Sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the actual name, like the sponsor. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that. Like basically, they're kind of like a machinima. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Polaris is like they have what's his name? That one.
Well, they have a lot of gaming YouTubers, but anyway, so they were recently purchased by Disney for like $500 million or something like that.
Disney just wants to buy everything.
Yeah.
They've got PewDiePie. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay. So, anyways, basically they wanted to get this game jam going and make like a reality TV show out of it, which. The idea sounds very interesting because, basically, I mean, when game jams happen and they are recorded, you just get like the whole entire raw footage, which can be pretty boring, just
Yeah.
watching the whole 48 hours of it, from start to finish, because a lot of it can be just, them sitting on the computers and typing, and getting work done. So, like, a reality TV show format could be interesting because they take the best moments and chop it up into something that's more viewable. Basically, what they did is they got 12 people, which include developers, indie developers, some of them well-known, such as Zoe Quinn, who did Depression Quest, Davey Redden, who did Stanley Parable, got Robin Arnott, Adriel Wellick. So anyways, these are just a few of the names that were there, and you had some YouTubers like Angry Joe and JonTron and a few other people I never even heard of.
Sam Strippin.
Never heard of it. Captain Sparkles, never heard of him. So anyway, so they got 12 people, 4 days. They split them up into 4 teams of 4. A lot of 4 going on. So anyways, it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really make sense to add these YouTubers in there because, I get what they're doing. They're trying to, get some people that are recognizable in the gaming community that are, contracted with Polaris so that they be like, hey, look, it's JonTron and Angry Joe, and, they're making games. But, I know Angry Joe knows nothing about game developments because every time he opens his mouth,
He was right about the DRM thing.
he was right about that, but he that was a complete guess. That was a fluke.
Why don't you just change it and then what's it, Major Nelson was like, it's not flipping a switch or something. You don't know anything about game development, and then the next day they were like, oh, the DRM's gone.
But still, it's like he doesn't know anything about game development. He's I don't. Why do they need him? Especially since some of these
Angry.
some of these indie developers are game designers. So
Yeah.
why did it? That's the only thing I can think of them doing. Doing the game design. They're not gonna do the art assets. They're not gonna do the programming.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of them doing would be game design. But they have game designers on their team, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
to me.
and there are much better video game critiques out there than
Yeah,
than
Angry Joe.
yeah. My personal favorite being Total Biscuit.
I mean, JonTron, I think he's a funny guy. I like his videos, but what are his gaming, his game development skills? I don't know. So anyways, So this became really huge because they eventually got sponsored by Mountain Dew and Microsoft, and money started rolling in. Once the money started rolling in, they got this dude. I didn't put down his name, but basically he works for PepsiCo, and his job is to do reality TV shows. So
That's nice.
yeah. So because he came in to, basically reality TV show up this reality TV show, he was trying to create drama within these 4 teams. Basically he was trying to talk smack about the female developers. Like, he was going to the teams with the female developers, be like, hey, do you think your team's gonna be doing better because you have this hot chick on your team? Or, hey, do you think you guys are gonna be doing better than that team because they have a girl on their team? It's just trying to create some sexist environment within the teams, and cause trouble. And indie developers, for the most part, they like to stick together. There's a huge community online, especially on Twitter. If basically all indie developers have each other, they're all following each other, and they all tweet at each other. So they like to support each other, and they're like, I'm not gonna put up with this BS, and all of them just walked out. So that cost Polaris $500,000.
Yep.
And it just went up in flames. Basically, my thoughts is I feel like as I mentioned earlier, I feel like it was the idea of it is pretty good. Getting a game jam, recording it, pretty much cutting the most interesting parts, putting it together, making a video out of it. I haven't watched what was it? Double Fine's documentary on their Broken Age game, but I'm assuming it would be similar to that, where
I was actually just about to say they should have gotten the 2-player production guys who did the Minecraft movie, and they did the documentary, and they did the documentary stuff on Double Fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of format where it's not so much of a reality TV show, but more of a documentation process of here's what we're doing, here's why we're doing it, here's our progress on it, let's interview some of the people, let's have some of the developers talk about what they're doing and why they're doing it. I think it would have been better in that kind of format where it's more like a documentary than it is a reality TV show, because one of the things that comes with reality TV shows is the drama. Otherwise, you're just literally watching people live lives, and that's not really fun. In order to be engaged, you have to have some kind of drama, especially when it's a reality TV show. Yeah. But a documentary would have been much better format for this.
And video production is very important as far as if you want to show what happened, because if you don't have video production, if you don't have people to cut up the video, get the interesting parts, as I mentioned before, you're basically going to have a 24-hour or 48-hour long video, and 90% of it or 80% of it can be absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about reality TV? It's not really grounded in reality at all.
Yep. That's very true.
That's not funny.
People aren't going to come to your house and punch you in the face. Stop.
That's not funny.
Is that reverse psychology?
Your face is reverse psychology.
Just getting jelly now.
Like Betty Spaghetti.
No. Oh wait. So.
Anyways, moving on.
Leather. Betty the Beast. So, anyways, let's move on to next news article. Okay, we have a 5-year-old who exposed the Xbox One's security vulnerability.
That's a
And
hacker.
yeah, basically, like he tried purchasing something on the Xbox One store. His dad put in a password. He put in the wrong password.
And then it was
And-
like, please put your password in again.
Yeah, and then he put space and then clicked enter.
No, he filled the whole thing with spaces and then he hit enter.
Oh, he filled the whole thing.
Yeah, it was
Okay, so
everything.
either way, fill the whole. He put a space in there
Best
of
password.
all spaces, and then that's the thing. It was his dad's password. So
It probably was.
Well, the thing was that basically there was some issue with the verification step. It's like if you enter the password in wrong, then it asks you some kind of security question, just like you set up security questions with bank accounts or something, and then he just filled that whole thing with spaces, and that bypassed the security.
yeah, and then it pretty much
step.
was about to let him make purchases. So basically, they let Microsoft know about this, and Microsoft they pretty much deboed the kid because like this could have saved them millions of dollars of like being sued
Yeah.
and whatever, but they're like, okay, we're gonna put his name on the website, on a list of
official security researcher.
yeah, and they gave him 4 brand new games, don't know which games, $50 and a year subscription of Xbox Live Gold.
That's like what, $350 value right there.
Come on now, like they could have given him like a lifetime subscription.
Yeah.
Just used his dad's credit card and gotten like $500 worth of games.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's a 5-year-old kid, and he probably thinks that he like hit pay dirt with all that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a grown man, and I could look at that and be like, yeah, that's not equal treatment
Yeah. right
right there. You're not paying him for what he found out and reported to you.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I
Give
agree.
him
Like a
little love
lifetime subscription would have been better. Maybe even like.
Is it really that hard to do a lifetime subscription? Really? I think it's funny when like I don't know, when someone like they had like the Xbox One launch or whatever, and like these people, I don't know, were in line and whatever, and like, oh, and you get a 1 year, like this, like the very first guy who bought an Xbox One was like, you get 1 year free of Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Like, this dude waited in line for like I don't know how, like
Like
a
a
week or
week?
something. Come on, man. Show them your appreciation.
Yeah.
Like they've become so stingy with giving out
Their birthday
Xbox Live
stuff.
Gold.
Their birthday stuff's the best.
It's a joke. Like I remember back when they first started Xbox Live Gold, you could get like those 2-month free trials,
In, like every game.
Yeah.
basically every
I
game.
still have some of those
Like-
backed up.
Like I
Just in,
knew people who worked at Blockbuster who never paid for Xbox Live Gold because of the fact that they worked at the store and they kept on getting the free trials from the
games that they're renting out.
yeah. So it's like, come on now. Now you can hardly find a game that has a 2-day free trial.
Like today?
No, not today, but
2 days.
two separate days.
or
Okay.
consecutive days.
2 consecutive days.
48 hours.
Yes, 48 hours of free trial. Like it used to be 2 months, now it's 48-hour trial. And like you could hardly find those to begin with.
Yeah.
And like, come on now. Come on. If you want people to like really
It adds value to their Xbox Live Gold. If it seems more valuable, it is more valuable, right?
but anyways,
Join the exclusive club by paying us $60 a year.
let's move on.
Okay.
Let me put a marker. The next news I got looks like pretty much all the rest of the news has to do with either people leaving companies or joining companies or switching companies. So,
I added one
oh, you added one?
after this one, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Amazon, they hire Portal's Kim Swift and Far Cry 2's Clint Hocking. Kim Swift, she recently worked on Quantum Conundrum and Ouya's Soul. How would you, Ford?
Yeah,
Okay, it's like
why?
I think it's supposed to be
I
a
think
Silent
it's
J.
I think it's a Soul Ford,
Oh,
but like it's like one of Ouya's only exclusive games that actually has like a
got no games.
a recognizable developer.
Yeah.
Kim Swift has I don't know what a company previous studio's name was, but she basically worked for Square Enix, and yeah, like Portal was awesome, but like Quantum Conundrum was like Portal Light. That's even stretching it right there.
Yeah.
The game was.
It was really disappointing.
Yeah.
I really did not like it. Like everything about it was like trying to be Portal. Like the uncle was like trying to be GLaDOS, but like nowhere near as funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just did. I was really disappointed. It wasn't a bad game, but I was just super disappointed with that game. It wasn't even. I felt like it was not even average. I don't know, but
We
yeah. Anyways, my bad. Clint Hocking, he worked on. He worked with Valve and LucasArts and worked on Splinter Cell and Far Cry 2, and he's been bouncing all over the place. So it sounds like Amazon. It's a good time to work for Amazon.
Yeah,
they're hiring. Hire me. Come on now, Amazon.
Yeah, I looked
Get
at their...
out of continues on your side.
Yeah, I was looking at their the recent like careers page that they had put up for game developers and game designers, and it's pretty extensive.
They have a job openings page or something.
That I don't know. I just saw that they had like a job listing, but they didn't really have. I didn't see a place to actually apply. They might not have had that up at the time because this was a long time. This was a few months ago when they first announced like they were going into the video game.
I'm gonna talk to Armand because he works for Amazon.
Does he?
Yeah, he's a programmer for them. So I'm gonna be like, yo, dude,
Yo, dude,
hook me up. See if you could get me a job as like a game designer for them.
Yeah.
Because they are hiring up the wazoo right now.
Yeah.
This next story tells us why they're hiring, right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Well, this isn't exactly. This isn't their console. Okay. Let me put a marker.
It's almost like a precursor to what they're eventually going to release.
Yeah, the Amazon Fire got announced was April 2nd or something like that.
Amazon Fire TV.
Amazon Fire TV,
Yeah,
basically.
it was the second, yeah.
Yeah, this is not their console that they're working on.
Yeah. But this is a set-top box that
Yeah.
can play games.
And I'm assuming it's just Android games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it. But they do have like exclusive developers and exclusive games that are, that's why they hired Double Helix.
But like the biggest draw to this product is that you can watch Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Instant Video and like everything. If you don't have a current gen console, or a last gen console excluding the Wii. or like you have an Xbox 360 but you don't have gold.
Yeah.
This can be a way for you to watch one of those streaming services on your TV
While being able to play games.
yeah, and like it doesn't do like crazy wonky things like the Google Chromecast.
Chromecast. Well, Chromecast is more of just like a streaming.
That's more of a that's more of a computer to TV streamer. type of thing.
Yeah, like I mean it's or you can stream from your phone.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's just wonky. Like this just lets you straight up like it's running Netflix straight off that box. You don't have to, connect to your phone or computer.
Well, the thing
or
even with like Chromecast is that it doesn't stream from your phone. It's got its own built-in network adapter. So you basically tell it what you're going to play, and then you don't have to, because if you're just streaming off your phone, that's just going to use up data or your battery on your phone, because if you turn off your phone, then it will still play on Chromecast. But so it's a completely different thing, but this is more comparable to Apple's TV. That
Or Roku.
Yeah, that too, yeah. And I think even Apple TV was at one point trying to get games being able to play it on them.
Man, I should have like not bought an Ouya and bought this Amazon Fire instead, because I
not bought any of those. Don't buy any of those.
yeah, but like I want like Netflix on the TV.
Get a Roku. That's like $40.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, why pay $100 when you can pay $40 and get Netflix, Hulu, and all that stuff on there, even Amazon Prime.
Oh, there's Amazon.
To be honest, I would go with Chromecast. It's first of all, it's a little bit cheaper, but you can not only control it with your phone, you can control it with all your
either way. I
computers.
should not have bought a Ouya.
Yeah.
Because like Ouya can't even do any of those. Come on now. Even if you like jerry rig it, it's still wonky. Willy wonky.
No way.
Moving on. Adam Sessler, he left Rev 3, which is basically the like YouTube channel thing.
Yeah, it's another one of those groups like Machinima or
Partners.
Yeah, they're
like
there we go.
He helped make a name out of them after he left G4 or
Discovery Channel, right? I think.
Who?
Rev 3.
I
think.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But basically, his Twitter bio now says that he's the president of Theory Head Inc., which is Theory Head Inc. is a consultancy for entertainment and media. So now I guess he's like a consultant on like
Mostly video games, probably.
well, I don't know about that. I don't know, like the way how like, I mean, when I read it, I figured he's probably like a consultant on how to like improve, your video production or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, I see.
I don't know. That's why.
So maybe he might even start consulting for Revision 3 or Machinima or.
Because like I mean he has like a lot of experience with TV and then with internet. TV, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Content.
Internet content.
Video content.
Internet video YouTubes. YouTubes.
They are. That is part of Discovery, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since we have this Adam Sessler news, I started off the podcast with Adam Sessler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a really good, I guess, insight. I don't know what the problem. He's not really a critique, but he's more like a. He just has really good things to say about the game industry in general.
He's very knowledgeable about all the ins and outs as well.
Yeah.
I just think the last few years have really worn thin on him. I mean, he's an older guy and like a lot of just crazies and people attacking him constantly, and he kind of lashed out back, and it's just like. That's probably one of the reasons why he took a step back and said, I want to do something else now. So.
Yeah.
I shook his hand.
Good for you.
Did you wash it?
Yes, because like it started to burn.
Oh, okay. Well, should probably call up.
Immediately after touching him.
Should probably call Adam.
No, I take that back. I don't want to get sued for slander.
No, but yeah, he's a good. He has good insight on the video game industry, and he's always done great content for his videos. And I'm sure that whatever he's moving on to now he'll still be very good at it. But I'll definitely miss his videos and his.
Yeah, he always had an interesting insight on things, even if I didn't agree with everything he said. He always. It's
always good to hear someone else's opinions.
Yes, definitely. Like how he says Gone Home is the best game of last year.
Yeah, that's why I didn't agree with
if
him.
If it's his favorite game, sure, but like it makes me question his taste. So anyway, let's move on. We have Amy Hennig, who we talked about her a few times within the past few weeks.
Yep.
She was the former creative director of Naughty Dog. She worked on the Uncharted games, Last of Us. All those were awesome games, and we don't know why she departed from Naughty Dog.
Yeah, that was all hush hush, very quiet.
But now she is with EA. She was with EA like years ago, but now she's with them again. This time with Visceral Games, that studio. Visceral, they made the Dead Space games, and they are working on a new Star Wars game. So that is like pretty much like two pieces of news right there put together, because we did not know Visceral was working on a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
And EA like their management has changed so many times, like within the past how long. So that can be one reason why she's fine with like returning with them, because like it's
probably some issues with some other people that are no longer working there.
Two, they probably offered her a ton of cash because she made some really awesome games, or was the creative director of some really awesome games. And three, she's she has the opportunity to work with the biggest IP in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, like, tell me one IP that's bigger than Star Wars.
Mario.
You can't.
Mario.
No. No.
Duh.
Star Wars.
Duh.
Star Wars.
Mario.
Star
I'm
Wars.
joking. Calm down.
Star Wars.
Calm down.
Star Wars. Star Wars. Yeah, I just noticed something. You're wearing a like green shirt and you got the green mic.
I just noticed that too. I didn't even plan that.
I've got a blue shirt and the orange.
You should have had the.
No, I like the blue mic. It's my favorite. I like blue.
Anyways, I'm secretly hoping that this Star Wars game is 1313.
No, it's not.
I know, but
It won't be.
Don't
It'll
have
never
to make
be.
me sad.
It'll be an Android game.
Star Wars Angry Birds Part 2.
And then when you launch the birds, it does. What's his name? Nathan Drake. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Like
That was close.
I can't remember what I was gonna say anymore now. But yeah, Visceral, like I really like Dead Space 2. I didn't play Dead Space 1, but when I played Dead Space 3, no, that game kind of was. I talked about it last week. That game's trash. And but hopefully they got their priorities straightened up, and they're not like on a strict deadline like they probably were with Dead Space 3. They were probably on a super strict deadline.
Well, it's EA, so I'm not surprised about that.
So hopefully they give them some more time and let them make this game as awesome as possible.
Yep.
So
Moving on.
Please
move on.
resurrect 1313.
It won't happen. It's not gonna happen. Sorry. News: Half-Life 3 confirmed. No. Valve employee Aaron Nichols
He is the third person to do this.
from Valve.
Yes.
To leave Valve to join Oculus VR.
Yes.
This guy, he previously worked at Microsoft Studios and worked on like Gears of War, Halo 3, Jade Empire in the past. Joined Valve in 2010, and don't know. He probably worked on Half-Life 3 because he didn't list anything as far as what he made.
Yeah.
So
it's
Half-Life
some
3
secret
confirmed.
project.
Half-Life 3. So anyways,
It's also going to be an Android game.
yeah, he
Exclusively, not even on iOS.
no, it's gonna be on the Wii U.
Exclusively.
Exclusively using Frostbite engine.
Oh god, people got so salty after that. I laughed.
So yeah, like he joins Oculus VR, and I think it was last week that I was talking about how people were getting up in arms about the whole Facebook
Well, I think that
acquiring.
it was a big
Oculus.
issue in the beginning because a lot of people were worried about how there's a possibility of
No, it was a big issue with like you two guys specifically.
I
'cause
had an issue.
I saw you guys on Facebook complaining about Facebook.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I use I listened to your podcast from last week, and I heard you talk about this, and I wanted to mention something about that. I know that you were saying that it's how ironic that people were complaining about Facebook on Facebook, but the thing is that
That's not ironic.
it's not ironic. But the main thing is that I don't have anything against Facebook. It's just that I originally had an issue with what they were going to do, what they could have done to Oculus. Like I'm okay with Facebook. I use it for what it is, but I don't want them to interfere with something that's probably not going to be related to them. But my major fear in the beginning was that they were going to heavily support ads and make do some kind of monetization on it.
Everyone keeps saying Facebook promised that they're going to be able to Palmer Luckey said that they could produce better hardware, this and stuff, now that Facebook's behind them, and they could sell it at cost and this and that. You know what that means though, right? They're not going to just sell it at cost and not make any more money. They're going to monetize it, plain and simple. They're going to subsidize it in some way, whether through ads or something else, or data mining what you're looking at or what you're doing with VR and selling it to other companies.
Well, don't be looking at naughty things then.
Well, I mean, if you think about it this way,
like they're not gonna, they didn't buy a company.
Hey,
for
all I'm saying is like, don't say it's the end of the world before before there's signs of the end of the world.
Right, but no,
like,
now I'm okay.
Just chill out.
Now that it's been a week,
see what's going on, and obviously it's looking pretty good because you got people still leaving Valve because Steam is such a mess.
Well,
and
that's what I was just
going
about to
to
say.
Oculus.
I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
John Carmack is like, yeah, it's cool, dude.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And that's
Chill.
the reason is like I'm starting to feel better about it because not only are all these developers.
You feel better?
Yeah.
You took a deep breath and.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've got John Carmack, and then you got 3 people from Valve now, which were
You've also have Michael Abrash.
Michael Abrash, Atman Binstock, and now
Michael Abraham.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
So, I mean, a lot of people are seeing this, as not a bad thing. So that alone should be good news. And then also, they should have done this earlier, but they just recently released more information about the acquisition and saying that Facebook will not be, they're not going to force ads. They're not going to do anything like that. And they are allowing.
Isn't that what Palmer Luckey had in the, like, he did the little Reddit thing and that's what he said? Or is this like actual official?
I think it might have just been I don't think it was like an official statement by Facebook or by Oculus. But
I don't buy it that. I still don't think Facebook would make a $2 billion acquisition and not try to make money off of that.
Yeah,
but I also think they wouldn't make a $2 billion acquisition and then completely change what they're doing and be like, well, you guys are being successful and now we're going to completely change.
I don't think that, like, I think they could get VR into a highly, highly commercial space, but I also think that they're just going to use gaming as a stepping stone to get to that popularized mass market thing.
So this was actually, I agreed with you in the beginning, but then I thought about it some more and I listened to a few other podcasts and read some more articles, and this is basically what I got out of it. Essentially, one thing that I think is a flaw, and I'm guilty of this, of thinking about Oculus, is that it's purely a gaming device. That is something that I originally had as a mentality, but looking at it now, it's just an output device. Yeah. It's just displaying. Yeah, I mean, it's just an input-output device.
It could be so much more.
And I mean, think about it this way: like people look at their TVs, and that's actually a very important aspect of video games, especially for consoles. You cannot play a game without having something to view that. But that's not what TVs are designed for. TVs were originally designed for TV shows and movies, and then games took advantage of that. So as a result, I mean, it's one aspect of something that is used for multiple things, and that's the way that we should be looking at Oculus, is not just for games, but for other things as well. And I think that was its original design, was for gaming, but
The thing is, all those
it's going to
other
have
things-
so many more uses.
all those
It just
other
has to be
things
done
aren't
right.
relevant to me, though. That's the thing. And I mean, of course, I'm saying, that's the whole entitlement thing that comes
Right.
up. But as a gamer that is highly interested in the game industry and almost uses my TV exclusively for games,
Right.
But
I mean,
like,
you still are buying into a product
I
that
completely
is.
understand.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
So I mean, I had to think about that, and I was guilty of that too in the beginning, where I was looking at Oculus as solely a gaming device and only for that. But then just thinking about it, reading some other people's opinions, I'm starting to get closure on that. In that it's I think what Facebook has done, I still am skeptical. I'm still being cautious about that. I'm not saying yes, this is a good idea, like 100%.
Yeah.
I'm still being cautious. I'm still skeptical about what it might end up being. But the thing is that this is just one company, and we know that Oculus. I mean, not Oculus, but VR in general is going to be the next step in gaming. And it's not going to be just one company working on this. Sony's already working on their own. Microsoft has rumors of working on their own. And even if those are exclusive to their consoles, then I'm sure that...
They've got rumors of augmented reality, not VR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's been...
Well,
even their official documents, they have, speak of...
They had that one trailer of that thing that, did a projection on that room.
Oh, yeah, I remember that from a long time ago.
The Luma Room or something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't really talk much about that.
That's just a projector that, extends... it just, projects stuff around your TV. That's what it does.
Yeah.
I like the one picture that went around saying that MySpace is following in Facebook's footsteps and acquired Virtual Boy for $30. It has a picture of MySpace's Tom, and they photoshopped the Virtual Boy on his head.
Oh, I think I remember seeing that on Facebook. Yeah. So I'm being skeptical about it. I'm still being cautious, but I have high hopes. And also, yeah, $2 billion is a lot, but they didn't get $2 billion in cash. They got some $100,000 in cash and the rest in stock, so they can't use all $2 billion unless they decide to withdraw from their stock shares.
Yeah.
But they still have a good sizable amount to help with development.
That's still a large acquisition, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think the idea that people are saying, they will still remain independent in how they function and stuff, I think that's silly. I mean,
it's possible.
In the conference call, one of the investors that called in asked, they were they asked if Oculus VR would have representation among, the board.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Zuckerberg completely
I got a picture for the viewers.
Are you screen sharing it?
Yes, I'm screen sharing.
Yeah. But yeah, Mark Zuckerberg completely dodged that question. When it's it's like saying right there, no, they won't have board representation or something.
Well, if they're
like that.
operating independently, I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, Facebook recently also bought Instagram and WhatsApp, which were both social things, but they're both operating independently of Facebook. You're not seeing Facebook being integrated into Instagram or WhatsApp. You're not seeing either of their systems even being shared into Facebook's social stuff, but it's just
Instagram goes through Facebook now.
Well, it's kind of like Twitter, where you can have it, you can connect your account to it and then have it push posts.
When you share the, I think it changes. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, so I won't talk about it.
Yeah,
We're going way off topic. Let's
anyway.
wrap this up. Phil Spencer. Oh, hold on. Let me put a marker.
Put a marker.
Marker. All right, Phil Spencer. He is now he promoted to head of Xbox. I mean, this was pretty much everyone saw this coming.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because both what's his name, Don Matrick and Mark Whitten, two top. Matrick was the head guy, and then Mark Whitten was also part of Xbox, and then Phil Spencer was head of Microsoft Studios.
Yeah.
So they basically since Mark Whitten and Don Matrick left, they consolidated those 3 positions into Phil Spencer's position. So
Yeah, like I mean, Phil Spencer has been talking about making changes lately, like about the Games for Gold, and obviously this month he said that he's gonna take more of a hands-on part in selecting the games, and this month they selected Hitman Absolution, which is probably the newest,
the most current game that they have released so far.
Yeah.
Because like there was I remember like people talking about like a couple weeks ago, people were talking about, okay, guess what's going to come out, Games for Gold, guess thread or whatever.
Crackdown.
And then like the first post was said for Xbox 360, it said Xbox 360 some crappy launch game, and then for Xbox One some crappy launch game. I mean it's true though, because like for the most part they've been like releasing games that are not relevant anymore,
Yeah.
Well, I mean like Xbox One, they're new games, but
like
small titles.
I mean they released like Defense Grid, which it's a fun game. I'm not trying to bash it, but it is an 8-year-old game by now.
Yeah.
And like it's been given out for free multiple times throughout the years, and it's like, come on, it was $10 on release date.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, Phil Spencer, I think he's a good, definitely a great choice. Ever since this whole ordeal of the DRM thing and basically like Sony showing them up and whatnot, it's been for the better. Like I'm sure some people would have liked to see Sony completely stomp on Microsoft, but seeing Microsoft turn around and get their stuff together and realize, hey, we really need to try.
Yeah.
Healthy
it's good.
competition.
Yeah, healthy competition.
And
what is necessary.
Like, obviously people on the internets are like, oh, Hitman Absolution, I got that for free 9 months ago on PlayStation Plus. And it's like, you know what? Yes, it was free on PlayStation Plus, but not everybody has both consoles.
Yeah.
So I mean, like for people with a 360, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have fun with that game, and it's a newer selection than their other stuff that they've been.
Halo 3.
Yeah.
Halo 3, they gave out Halo 3 after like ODST and Reach and 4 came
They gave out Assassin's Creed
God.
2, which I mean, awesome game, but like that
best game in the series.
Like what was that 2007 game?
It's old.
Yeah.
It's definitely old.
Anyway.
But either way, like, I mean, it's definitely a better selection than the previous stuff. So like, we'll see what the future selections will be, and I mean it's not just Games for Gold, but what other changes is Phil Spencer going to do? So hopefully it's for the best. I didn't put down the article on Iwata. He's in trouble.
Oh yeah, Nikkei, the Japanese business news source, they made an article talking about how his
approval rating dropped
rates,
from 90 something percent to 70 some percent.
That was that was from a year or two ago.
2011.
Yeah.
2011 it was 90 something percent, and then now it's 70 something percent.
No, it was last year or something was 70 something.
Oh, okay.
Because they're going through voting again for approval rates this year. That's what's happening in June. They're going to be voting to see for more approval rates. But
get him out of here, man. I feel like he's ever since he took over, for the past decade, he's just making Nintendo lose grip of the console market.
If you look at Yamauchi, he was a very cutthroat businessman type of guy. I mean, he early Nintendo, they strong-armed everyone they could.
Mm-hmm.
They had the whole price gouging thing, and they had the seal of quality thing to make sure people wouldn't, do whatever they wanted on their platforms and all sorts of
Release
things
a
like
Kool-Aid game.
that. Yeah, and
Well, they got a Yonoi game instead.
but I mean, and then you look at Iwata. I mean,
Iwata? It's just-
Iwata.
yeah.
I'm sorry, whatever.
It's Iwata.
It's I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced if it's written in English.
But you're
and
adding
it's
adding
Japanese.
extra vowels.
Well,
in
how do
there.
you know if it's Iwata?
Oh, it's either Iwata or Iwata, well,
Anyway.
but it's not Iwata.
Anyway, so if he had the GameCube, and then I mean, sure, he did well with the Wii, but then the Wii U, and I don't know. Like, he's done well in the mobile or not mobile, the handheld front, but like the console has been very inconsistent and
Well, I mean, they did well with Wii because Wii Sports was such a phenomenon.
Yeah, and also the wider audience. You got
And it wasn't like he made the right business decisions because, like, look at their third-party support. Like
Yeah.
any third-party software, they're all like shovelware, garbage.
Yep.
yeah.
Carnival Games.
Yep, that was actually a popular one.
It was one of their best-selling games, Carnival Games. Come on now. So it wasn't like his business decisions. It was the fact that like they released something that was a fad, and
It really was a fad, because if you look at motion gaming now, I mean, that's real. Like, sure, like Microsoft has Kinect, but they're not even really doing that much motion anymore. And
yeah.
like Sony has PlayStation Eye, but they're not really implementing motion.
Yeah, I think-
it's all like they're adding a lot of voice control, because you could, like, say something easier than dance around or swing your arm or something.
Yeah.
Because if you're swinging your arm, you can't really use a controller. I mean, I guess Sony has their stop dancing, stop it. But yeah, I mean, like, motion gaming has not stuck, and that's like the definition of what a fad is. Something that was done, like very cheaply, and like everyone picked it up, and then
Yeah.
it never stuck because it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem was that Nintendo didn't really use their own technology to their advantage.
They never do. Like, look
The
at,
only game that made use of it that was interesting was Wii Sports.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could look at Legend of
hey,
Zelda.
hey,
as
hey,
well,
take
but
that back. There was Wii Sports Resort, boy.
Okay, fine. A sequel or expansion to an already existing
that
game.
required a hardware expansion.
Yeah. Wii Motion Plus.
Because you had to pay, I think $30 for the Wiimote, and then another like 15 or 20 for the Wii Motion Plus.
Yeah.
And then, like, when the Wii Motion Plus integrated Wiimotes came out, those were like 45 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up.
Man.
Wrapping up.
All right,
Wrap up. All right, so we have no listener feedback this week, but if you want to write in, you can write into podcast@afternews.com, and we'll read your comments or feedback or questions. Answer your questions, all that stuff, or don't do it. Don't do it. Because I don't think you got the cojones to do it.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's how it works. That is not reverse psychology.
I don't think you got the guts to do it. Yeah, they're not gonna prove me wrong.
Yeah, because they're gonna punch you. That's why.
Podcast@afternews.com. As usual, I want to give a shout out to Nathan Becker. He is also known as Ectogemia. If you look up Ectogemia, ECTOGEMIA, look that up on Google. You can find his SoundCloud account or his Facebook, which is facebook.com/Ectogemia, where he posts his music or any of his news. Like right now, he has like a Steam green light for a game that he's doing music for.
It is called Approaching Infinity.
It is a spaceship game.
I like spaceships and I like games.
So, anyways, Nathan Becker. Also, check out Return of Etheria War of Realms. They still haven't got the new website up, have they?
Nope, not that I'm aware of. I can't even check that right now. But as far as I know,
Supposed to happen a couple weeks ago.
it was supposed to happen a while ago, more than a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Oh man.
So I'm gonna screen share this real quick, just so people can see it.
Yeah, this is still the old website.
Let me get the. Just gotta make sure it's window only, just so.
It's not even
There we go.
optimized for tablet viewing because it's like pushes the.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
pushes
So,
another-
Return of Etheria. Check this out. If you're on video, I got on the video right now. So, returnofetheria.org. It's an augmented reality game. We're still going with that, right? No,
It's-
maybe kind of. It's
I
kind
still
of.
consider it an augmented reality
Yes.
game.
We got like this. It's basically like if you take a board game and like a video game, and like if you make like an MMORPG but make it in real life. So like
Put it all together.
Yes, put it all together. So it's like World of Warcraft but in real life.
Yep.
World of Warcraft with Hearthstone and
We got like, we have like this.
Invisimals.
It's more- think of, like-
we have this 90-inch touchscreen table that we're using for like the game board.
Yeah.
So like instead of like having like a Monopoly board, we got like this 90-inch touchscking table. You like
It's multi-touch.
Yes, you select your
Stick
quest
your face
giver. You get no, you don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's disgusting. You'll probably get some kind of disease.
You'll probably
doing
get kicked
that.
out. Yeah.
So you select a quest giver, you get quests, you do the quest within a convention. It'll be at Indie PopCon this year. So
That's on May 30th.
yeah, so let me get this off the screen. Go back to non-screen share. Get that out here. Okay. All right. So yes, returnoftheory.org. Both Kevin and myself are working on this.
And we're both leaders of our
Yes,
respective teams.
I am the game design leader, and Kevin is the leader of absolutely nothing.
I'm the leader of
the 3D modeling team.
Yep.
In fact, next week I will have with me as guests two other game designers. So we'll have like 3/5 of the game design team talking. We'll probably talk about Ethereum Etheria. I think that's the topic we'll go for. Talk about how we have hardships on conflicts with like former members of the team who aren't even working on the game anymore.
They're
Come
still
on.
wanting to influence it,
Yeah, but like
and conflicts within the group as well.
yeah, and what we've been doing and stuff like that. I think that's what our topic will be. So check out Return of Etheria. If you're like near the Indianapolis area, May
30th is the first day, I believe.
Yes.
It's a 3-day event, so 30th, 31st, and then the 1st.
Yeah. I'll have a booth.
Sounds pretty good.
Yep.
I'll have a booth.
Sweet.
It's in fact like if you play the game, you're probably going to have to come to my booth, because if you want to get the blacksmith's gauntlets, you have to come to my booth.
Spoiler
I
alert.
know what to say. Spoilers are giving hints.
Yeah,
Well,
give hints,
I
man.
guess
No,
that's kind
it's-
of like an incentive to listen
no.
to the podcast.
It's not a spoiler. It'll straight up tell you in the description. It'll be like,
Oh.
you must get. I'll have all the gauntlets. So I'm gonna have the magma gauntlets, the whatever the earth gauntlets are called, the air gauntlets, the water.
There's one for each of the-
I'll have all the gauntlets, and if you go to the blacksmith and he tells you to get the gauntlets, you gotta. He'll be like, go to Attic Continues.
Awesome.
See, that's the perks of being the game design lead.
I'm just gonna throw a little bit of my own advertising into this game.
Exactly. So, anyways, do you guys have any other people or anything to plug? Quick plug. Able Gamers. Check them out. They're gonna be at PAX East next week.
Sweet.
Able Gamers. It's still not really showing too well. Let me get the shadow. There we go. Able Gamers. Yeah, because it's too bright. Able Gamers, cool guys. They are for getting basically games more accessible, like accessibility for disabled people.
Yep.
So everybody should have fun.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. So anything else to plug?
Nope. I'm good.
Yeah.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Her.
All right, if you enjoy what you've been hearing, support us, or watching. You might be watching too. So if you enjoy what you've been hearing or watching, support us by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, or you can contact by email to podcast@advocatenews.com. All those can be found on the website www.advocatenews.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Prefer if you send an email, but do whatever. Do it. You can also give me a tweet. I am at Sayed Stafa. That's SAYEDSTFA.
I am at Phosphor112, PHOSPHOR112.
And I am at KS Trehan, KSTREHAN.
And I would like to thank my guest hosts for joining me today. Kevin.
Thank you, Stava.
Ali.
I am the elusive man.
And with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. Peace out, everybody.
Should use Premiere to make your eyes turn red.
I'm not going to use anything. I'm going to use YouTube's. And with that said, don't play games like my brother.
Okay.
National Public Radio.
They're doing that.